the ring, he needed guidance. He contacted Cus D'Amato, a legendary boxing trainer. D'Amato was known for his unconventional methods and his ability to see potential where others saw only problems. He had a knack for taking troubled youth and turning them into disciplined, focused athletes. D'Amato had a reputation for shaping troubled youth into champions. His gym was a sanctuary for those who had nowhere else to turn, a place where discipline and hard work were the only currencies that mattered. He had a unique ability to connect with his fighters on a personal level, understanding their struggles and using those struggles to fuel their training. He had trained the likes of Floyd Patterson and Jose Torres. These were not just boxers, they were legends and their success stories were a testament to D'Amato's skill as a trainer. Patterson had become the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a record that Tyson would later break, and Torres had been a light heavyweight champion known for his tactical prowess. When D'Amato laid eyes on Tyson, he saw a diamond in the rough. Tyson was raw, unpolished, but he had an intensity that was impossible to ignore. D'Amato knew that with the right guidance, Tyson could become one of the greatest fighters the world had ever seen. D'Amato became not just Tyson's trainer, but his legal guardian. This was more than a professional relationship, it was a bond that went beyond the gym. D'Amato provided Tyson with a stable home environment, something he had never had before. He became a father figure, offering the kind of support and guidance that Tyson desperately needed. He provided the structure and discipline that the young boxer craved. Tyson thrived under this new regime, finding solace in the routine and the rigorous training. The gym became his sanctuary, a place where he could channel his anger and frustration into something productive. Under D'Amato's wing, Tyson flourished. He was training with a purpose. Every punch, every movement was calculated, designed to make him a more formidable fighter. D'Amato's training methods were intense, but they were exactly what Tyson needed to harness his raw power and turn it into something unstoppable. D'Amato instilled in him a new fighting style, the peekaboo guard. This technique was revolutionary, allowing Tyson to stay close to his opponents while minimizing the risk of getting hit. It was a style that required incredible speed and agility, both of which Tyson had in abundance. This unorthodox approach maximized Tyson's power and speed. He became a force of nature in the ring, his punches landing with devastating accuracy and force. The peekaboo guard allowed him to get inside his opponent's defenses, delivering blows that left them reeling. He bobbed and weaved, his punches exploding from unexpected angles. Tyson's movements were almost hypnotic, a blur of speed and power that left his opponents struggling to keep up. He was a master of deception, using his footwork and head movement to create openings for his devastating punches. Tyson was a sponge, absorbing D'Amato's teachings. He listened intently to every word, eager to learn and improve. D'Amato's lessons went beyond boxing. He taught Tyson about life, about discipline, and about the importance of hard work and dedication. He trained relentlessly, driven by a desire to prove himself. Every day was a new challenge, a new opportunity to push his limits and become better. Tyson's work ethic was unmatched, and it was this relentless drive that would eventually make him a champion. The streets had taught him to fight to survive. D'Amato taught him to fight to win, to dominate. Under D'Amato's guidance, Tyson transformed from a street fighter into a disciplined, focused athlete. He learned to channel his aggression, to use it as a tool rather than a weapon. And in doing so, he found not just a trainer, but a mentor, a father figure, and a path to greatness. The boxing world took notice of this young phenom. Tyson's amateur career was nothing short of spectacular. He demolished his opponents with frightening ease. He turned pro at 18, a whirlwind of fury unleashed upon the world. His professional debut was a sight to behold. In March 1985, he knocked out Hector Mercedes in the very first round. This was just the beginning. Fight after fight, Tyson's opponents crumbled. His power was legendary. his speed unmatched. He became a knockout artist, his victories swift and brutal. The crowds roared. The media couldn't get enough of Iron Mike. He was a marketing dream, a promoter's goldmine. He was must-see TV. He grew with each win. He became a symbol of raw power and aggression. He was on a meteoric rise, destined for greatness. But within the whirlwind of success, a storm was brewing. Section 4, a champion crowned, a legacy forged. On November 22, 1986, Mike Tyson faced Trevor Berbick for the WBC heavyweight title. The atmosphere was electric, with fans from all over the world tuning in to witness what would become a historic night in boxing. At 20 years, 4 months and 22 days old, Tyson made history. He was a young man with a mission, driven by a fierce determination to prove himself in the ring. Heavyweight champion in boxing history, a record that still stands today. This monumental achievement was not just a personal victory for Tyson, but a moment that would be etched in the annals of sports history forever. The boxing world was his. Fans cheered his name, and he was celebrated as a hero. Tyson's raw power and unrelenting aggression in the ring captivated audiences and struck fear into the hearts of his opponents. He added the WBA and IBF titles to his collection, unifying the heavyweight division for the first time in years. This unification was a testament to his dominance and skill, solidifying his status as the undisputed heavyweight champion. Iron Mike was now the undisputed king of boxing. His rigorous training regimen and relentless work ethic were key factors in his success. Tyson's dedication to his craft was unparalleled, and it showed in every match he fought. He was a global icon. Interviews, endorsements, and public appearances became a regular part of his life. Tyson's influence extended beyond the boxing ring, making him a household name and a symbol of strength and perseverance. His face was plastered on magazine covers, his name on everyone's lips, and the media couldn't get enough of him, and fans eagerly followed his every move. Tyson's rise to fame was meteoric, and he became a cultural phenomenon. He had achieved what many considered impossible. Tyson's victories were not just adversity and proof of his indomitable spirit. Each fight was a testament to his resilience and unyielding will to succeed. But behind the fame and fortune, Tyson was battling personal demons. The pressures of being in the spotlight took a toll on him, and he often found himself grappling with inner turmoil. The loss of his mentor and father figure, Cus D'Amato, the previous year, hit him hard. D'Amato had been a guiding force in Tyson's life, providing him with the discipline and support he needed to succeed. Without him, Tyson felt adrift. He struggled to cope with the pressures of fame and the trappings of success. The weight of expectations and the constant scrutiny from the public and media were overwhelming. Tyson's personal life began to unravel. As he sought ways to escape the relentless pressure, he was surrounded by yes-men and enablers. The people around him were more interested in his fame and fortune than his well-being. This toxic environment only exacerbated his struggles, pushing him further into a downward spiral. Despite these challenges, Tyson continued to train and fight, using boxing as an outlet for his frustrations. The ring was his sanctuary, a place where he could channel his anger and pain into something productive. Tyson's journey was one of incredible highs and devastating lows. His story is a testament to the complexity of fame and the human spirit's capacity for both greatness and vulnerability. Through it all, Tyson remained a fighter both in and out of the ring. As we look back on his career, we see a man who achieved extraordinary success but also faced immense challenges. Tyson's legacy is not just about his victories in the ring, but also about his resilience in the face of adversity. Today, Tyson continues to inspire and captivate audiences with his story. He has transformed his life, using his experiences to help others and to advocate for mental health and personal growth. Tyson's journey is a powerful reminder that even the greatest champions face battles beyond the ring. His connection with fans remains strong, and his influence continues to be felt across generations. Tyson's story is one of redemption and the enduring power of the human spirit. He is a true champion, not just for his achievements in boxing, but for his ability to rise above his struggles and forge a lasting legacy. Section 5. Cracks in the armor, personal loss and inner demons. As Tyson's star rose, so did the scrutiny of his personal life. The world watched his every move, and the media was relentless in its pursuit of sensational stories. Tyson, once a symbol of raw power and invincibility, found himself under a microscope, his every action dissected and analyzed. His tumultuous marriage to actress Robin Givens became tabloid fodder. The couple's relationship was marred by public spats and allegations, painting a picture of chaos and instability. The media frenzy only added fuel to the fire, making it difficult for Tyson to find peace in his personal life. He was battling internal conflicts, a maelstrom of emotions fueled by grief, anger, and self-destructive tendencies. The loss of his mentor, Cus D'Amato, had left a void that Tyson struggled to fill. His emotions were a storm, constantly raging within him, and he often found himself at war with his own mind. His behavior became increasingly erratic. Friends and associates noticed the change as Tyson's actions grew more unpredictable. He lashed out at those around him, his temper flaring at the slightest provocation. The once disciplined fighter was now a man on the edge, teetering on the brink of self-destruction. He was involved in car accidents and public altercations. These incidents were not just isolated events, but a pattern of reckless behavior that hinted at deeper issues. Tyson's life was spiraling out of control, and the world watched in shock as the champion's public persona began to crumble. The chinks in his armor were beginning to show. The invincible facade was cracking, revealing a man who was vulnerable and deeply troubled. Tyson's struggles were no longer hidden behind the walls of fame and fortune. They were laid bare for all to see. The once disciplined fighter, molded by D'Amato's guidance, was slipping away. His training regime suffered. The rigorous routines that had once defined his life were now neglected. Without the steady hand of his mentor, Tyson's focus waned, and his dedication to the sport that had made him a legend began to falter. He was no longer the focused, driven athlete who had taken the boxing world by storm. The fire that had once burned so brightly within him was dimming. Tyson's mind was elsewhere, consumed by the chaos of his personal life and the demons that haunted him. He sought solace in extravagance and fleeting pleasures, a desperate attempt to fill the void left by D'Amato. Lavish parties, expensive cars, and extravagant purchases became his escape. But these temporary distractions could not heal the deep wounds within him. They were mere band-aids on a soul that was bleeding. The boxing world watched, a mixture of concern and fascination, as their invincible champion began to unravel. Commentators and fans alike speculated about his future, wondering if Tyson could ever reclaim the glory that seemed to be slipping through his fingers. The once unassailable champion was now a tragic figure, his life a cautionary tale of fame and its pitfalls. Little did they know fate had a cruel twist in store, one that would change the course of Tyson's life forever. The storm clouds were gathering, and the path ahead was fraught with challenges that would test Tyson in ways he had never imagined. His journey was far from over, and the next chapter would be one of the most defining moments of his life. Mike Tyson's story begins in the tough streets of Brooklyn, New York. Born in 1966, his childhood was rough. Poverty and violence surrounded him. He never knew his biological father. His mother struggled to provide for him and his siblings. Young Mike was often bullied because of his lisp and high-pitched voice. He turned to petty crime just to survive. By 12 years old, he was no stranger to the inside of a juvenile detention center. The streets had hardened him, but beneath the surface, a troubled young man was lost. Bobby Stewart knew he couldn't hone Tyson's raw talent alone. Stewart, a former boxer himself, had seen many young fighters come and go, but Tyson was different. There was a fire in his eyes, a hunger that couldn't be quenched by mere training sessions. Stewart recognized that Tyson needed more than just a coach. He needed a mentor, someone who could guide him both in and out of the ring. He needed guidance. He contacted D'Amato, a legendary boxing trainer. D'Amato was known for his unconventional methods and his ability to see potential where others saw a knack for taking troubled youth and turning them into disciplined, focused athletes. D'Amato had a reputation for shaping troubled youth into champions. His gym was a sanctuary for those who had nowhere else to turn, a place where discipline and hard work were the only currencies that mattered. He had a unique ability to connect with his fighters on a personal level, understanding their struggles and using those struggles to fuel their training. He had trained the likes of Floyd Patterson and Jose Torres. These were not just boxers, they were legends in the sport, and their success stories were a testament to D'Amato's skill as a trainer. Patterson had become the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a record that Tyson would later break, and Torres had been a light heavyweight champion known for his tactical prowess. When D'Amato laid eyes on Tyson, he saw a diamond in the rough. Tyson was raw, unpolished, but he had an intensity that was impossible to ignore. D'Amato knew that with the right guidance, Tyson could become one of the greatest fighters the world had ever seen. D'Amato became not just Tyson's trainer, but his legal guardian,